So traders, let's have a look at the gold, silver, and the mining sector today to see what's going to come up this week. I'm going to show you some few things that I'm looking at. We'll look at some of the major mining stocks as well too, and we'll see what we can see. Let's get straight into it, guys. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, make sure you grab access to that free training there. On that free training, you can see on the screen right now. I literally teach you my exact trading system I utilized when trading these markets. And on the top of that there, guys, one thing that I notice when I talk to a lot of people on the phone, one of the biggest mistakes I'm seeing a lot of you guys making is that you're guessing. There's a lot of guessing, right? If you are absolutely serious about becoming like you want to become a pro trader, right? You want to become a professional trader, right? And you want to make a professional income. Well, let's bring this back to basically about, how professionals actually utilize the markets and how they trade the markets. I'm seeing a lot of you guys not doing well, but you're spinning your wheels because your actions is not going to get the result of what you want. So I'm seeing a lot of people say, oh, well, there's an upward trend, so I'm just going to go long. There's a very generic from there. So if you're absolutely serious about becoming a really good trader, then it's so important that you really nail down a concrete plan of exactly what you're looking for in the market. It's no longer just guessing. Anyway, so let's actually look at the gold market. Now, the gold market for me, guys, I'm really, really, really excited for gold because gold was one of my most successful trades to this year so far. I say so far because who knows what's going to happen moving forward. But this breakout here, this breakout that we actually had back here at the start of the year this is on gold. I capitalized on this move from gold, and that's what I like to do when it comes to my trading setups myself. I like to capitalize on really good moves, right? I don't like my style of trading for myself anyway is I ideally like to be getting into something and then holding it for a few months as it makes a big move, right? I'd rather take this trade here, which gave me around 400% return on an option, than try to take all these small little trades. So that's the ideal situation. So looking at the gold situation where we are right now, and what's going on here, we can see that we had this very strong move to the upside, and now we're just going sideways through here. So the really, really amazing thing that I'm seeing right now is gold is almost on the verge of making a really big move. It's almost there, right? And if I can get my trigger point, my trigger entry, it is just on like Donkey Kong. And I believe, because I have always had a 3,000 target on gold, and we've just been holding here. And whenever you do get these holding periods, like here, right, you get the sideways period for a while, and inevitably what happens? We actually break out and we make a move. That's what's so amazing. Whenever the market's doing this, like it is right now with gold, guess what's coming real soon? A big breakout, right? And if we can capitalize on that breakout, and if I can get my exact entry bar, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade there, right? So that's obviously the gold market from there, and that's the same for me, guys. I like to trade the options over the GOD, right? So you can see I've actually even got some trend lines, some really funky dunky trend lines going on here. A little bit of a squeezing up pattern going on through here. So again, if we can really break above 230 on GOD, I think then we're off to the races to around 3,000 from there as well too. So that's what I'm seeing from there, traders, from that point of view. Let's go look at the silver market. So let's go to the silver market. Now the silver market has been one of those markets that's been coming down through here, but I don't believe on this breakout to the downside. I just don't believe it. And what I mean by that is that as we've come down through here, right, we've had this here, but what is this in the big picture? This is where it's so important that when you're trading, like I'm looking at the daily chart right now, and I can see, yeah, we had a little bit of support here around 29. It came up, it hit resistance, it come down through here, right? But what is this on the big picture? right? This is where it's so important to keep an eye on that big picture, right? Because that big picture is what? That big picture is indeed what? If we go, the big picture is this daily charts, weekly charts are always the most important thing in the markets. Because look at this here. I utilize trend analysis and moving averages on my weekly charts. So, I'm laughing at something. One of the most powerful things to your trading, guys, is really simple analysis, right? When it comes to trading, and really like understanding the waves of things, right? And the reason why I'm saying here is we can see here we actually had a move up, and now we've had a move down. And look at my moving average. This is a 24 simple moving average on my weekly charts. That's just what I use, and look how strong it is from there, right? Look how strong it is from there, and you know, and so therefore I even did a video last week titled "The Weekly Chart's the Most Important Chart." So looking at the silver market, I actually see, you see how we've had this drop to the downside. This could just be what? A significant higher low. Because if we have a look at that's the latest, that's all this support level back here. It came up, it came down. I believe on this this weekly chart here, we're probably likely to find a bit of support level through here. And this could here be a significant higher low. We bring our Fibonacci's from low to high. And look where we're at right now. So this is the power of the weekly chart. It gives you perspective on what is actually happening in the last few months. Now it can obviously turn into something more, but right now this is a strong move up, and now we're getting a drop to the downside and a strong moving average. So that tells me there's a good probability that when we go back to our daily charts now, and there's a lot of stuff on the screen, we don't need that anymore. And let's just take you off the screen. It just shows me that this down move here is probably going to be very short-lived before the buying resumes, right? Some people, one of the hardest things about trading the markets is patience, right? Patience. And some of you guys are just not meant for trading. I'm telling you right now. Some of you guys are watching this market right now. You are so impatient. You're buying silver in the hopes of seeing a big move tomorrow or the next day, and it hasn't moved for a week, right? You are going to get run over by these markets, right? This market is a multi-billion-dollar year industry, trillion-dollar industry, and you're hoping for a really big move. It's like you've got to be patient sometimes, right? If you think that silver's going to make a big move to the upside, well, that big move takes time, right? Don't think big move equals one big day, or it's going to start today and then, like things do take time. Okay, and the purpose of me saying this is because some of you guys are just not meant for trading, and because you have zero patience at all, and therefore, if you have zero patience, you're not going to be patient while you're in a trade, and you're surely not going to be patient while out of the market looking for a trade, and you're just going to get completely run over from there. So, one of the biggest characteristics, right, of you doing well out of the markets is patience. We know that, right? Unfortunately, this day and age, you're seeing just a lot of people being impatient with these markets. So the purpose of me saying this here is that if I say there's a big move coming in silver, I do see that. But what does that mean in reality? So over the course of 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you're going to see that big move unfold, right? Not the bottom's in today and the market's going to go up, because no one knows that. Okay, no one knows that. So, there's my little spell for the gold and silver market. Now let's go look at the good old GDX from here, right? Now the GDX for me is one that I think it's getting really, really, really exciting for me. Why? Well, let's go back to some simple analysis, right? For you guys that are using and by the way, you see how I don't really use much from here. I utilize this, and if I'm looking at the weekly charts, I'm just utilizing just one moving average and just the chart itself. If you're using a lot of indicators, I guarantee you your trading sucks and you're really confused in the markets right now. Right? I guarantee you are. Because you're just overcomplicating it, right? You think that you need to have all these indicators to tell you when to buy and when to sell, and it's a road that I actually went down. It's a road that I went down myself for quite a bit of time before I realized that I'm making this much more complicated than I really am. And on top of that, I wasn't really, the way I was approaching trading and the way that I was getting into trading myself, I wasn't really modeling anyone, right? I was just doing what I thought was a good idea. And it's just like, no wonder I sucked for so many years. And this is another big thing I'm seeing with my phone calls, is that a lot of you guys want to do really well from trading, but you're not modeling someone who's already successful in the markets, right? You're not actually following what they do. How do they trade the markets? How do they get in? How do they get out? How do they see their trading throughout the entire year? You guys are just like, oh, I don't need to know that. I'm just going to do whatever I think it's going to do. And you spend years and years and years. So looking at the GDX, look at what do we have here, right? We have this low point from here, higher low. This could be another higher low. So we're actually quite a big strong upward trend on the GDX, right? On the GDX. Not the GDXJ, not Barrick Gold, not Newmont, right? Some people think, oh, gold mining stocks. I'm going to go buy Barrick Gold today. No, right? No. The big mistake a lot of you guys are doing that, right? A lot of you guys are doing that right now. The gold mining sector, I'm talking about the GDX right now, not Barrick Gold, okay? If I say something about the silver mining sector, I'm not talking about First Majestic, right? I'm talking about that chart. What you want to do is you want to analyze whatever that chart is telling you at that time, okay? So the GDX for me is a higher low, and here we are right now. So when looking at this chart here, we can see what? We can see that we've actually had quite a nice little upward trend through. We had a little bit of a pullback from here, and let's go to that point through there, right? So we've had a nice little upward trend, higher lows. We have this pullback through here, and now we're getting another higher low. So to me, one thing I'm looking for and I'm watching to see is that we've got this little pullback through here. Do we start to get like a little strong breakout from here? Because if we do get that could be the start of another move to the upside. And if I'm looking at actual targets of where it could go to, then we can see that 45 level, it could actually start to have a nice move up towards that 45 level up there. There is a bit of resistance around the $40 level, but that $45 level is definitely one that I see it could start to make a move. So if I go back to my 6-month view, right, and you get a little bit of a breakout from here, it may have a little bit of problems around 40, but once it breaks 40, then it's pretty much off the races around that 45 to 46 level. So that's the GDX. Let's go look at the GDXJ. And the GDXJ, it's still in an upward trend, but it's just holding on. Now, when looking at I love looking at my moving average on my weekly chart because it gives me an actual overall momentum in the markets. And therefore, I never want to trade against this, right? Never trade against a strong moving average. It doesn't matter, like I utilize this here, even on a daily charts, right? I utilize a 52 on my daily charts when I'm utilizing moving averages. And whenever we have a strong moving average, do not trade against that. Do not, right? You want to put the odds on your side of doing well, right, guys? And so don't make life harder than it really is. I see a lot of people, even when it comes down to the actual stock market right now, I see a lot of people, they're trying to short the markets right now, and they think the market's crashing, it's going to top, and it's like, I'm not sure where that thinking comes from. Like, we know the trend is your friend until the end, and we can see when we're looking at a chart that the best trades and highest probability trades are when the market is, you're going with the trend, but for some reason I want to try to pick a top or pick a bottom. I'm not sure where that comes from. So just don't make trading as hard as you. All right, so higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and this is the same low through here. So we definitely have a same low through here, and then now we also have this coming down through here. So the trend is still up. We're not making higher lows, but what can happen sometimes with the markets is the market can go up, it makes a higher low, comes down, makes a higher low, and then it can step up. So sometimes that actually happens. That actually happened with Apple. It happened with Bitcoin as well. So sometimes we do get that little same low, and then we have a breakout to the upside. So, but the GDX out of those two is actually a slight higher because we're still making a slight higher low. So the actual GDX is the slight strongest one out of those sectors from there. Let's go look at the SIL as well too. And this one now, even though we've got a very strong move to the upside, this could be a false breakout pattern. Okay, this could be a false breakout to the downside. So we can see from here, like we had this resistance over here, we came up, we found support, came up, and we had a flush down. So what can happen sometimes with these really big bull markets is you get what's called the false breakout, which is the false breakdown. Especially I'm getting the moving average still trending nicely to the upside. So what can happen is we get the short-term flush down, and that's like a bit of a slingshot move, right? So the slingshot move is like we have this support level through here. It comes down because that weekly trend is still really strong to the upside of the moving average. You can actually get like this being an actual false breakdown, and then we actually start to make our way back up to at least back up to the support. So if we can get something like that coming back into there, so what can happen through here is if we start to get a bit of a short-term breakout to the upside. Let me go to the short-term charts here, because whenever I see this pattern through here, we can get a bit of a flush down. We get like a bit of a flush down. If this is a false breakdown, we get back above say 31. There's probably a good chance we're going to now start to make our way back up to around the $36 level from there. Just trying to see from shorter-term perspectives. Let's go to the say 5-minute charts. Okay, so I'm just looking at these charts through here. Yeah, so same for that chart there. If we start to get a bit of a breakup from there, there's possibly a good probability we're likely to see a nice move up from there, up to around that level from there. Yeah, so that's the SIL from there. Let's go look at the SILJ, and the SILJ is pretty much still in the same sort of thing, right? We have a bit of a short-term trend down through here. We do have this low through here, but again, same sort of thing, isn't it? That low from there, but that weekly chart, look at this weekly chart, the moving average is still very strong to the upside. So when looking at that, and we see this very strong moving average to the upside, what we're looking at here is we're looking at that the trend is still pretty much strong. So this could be a false breakout pattern, and if it is, then we could be, let's go back to our daily charts, we could be getting ready for a bit of a strong breakout, and then I move back up towards these levels up here. So that actually could be quite nice, right? Now, the point I made in this video about is one of the biggest mistakes a lot of traders make is that they start to correlate things. So I just did analysis on SIL, silver mining sector, and the SILJ, the silver junior sector. Some people say, oh, this could be a flush out, and then we can have a big move to the upside. I'm going to go buy AG. I'm going to go buy First Majestic. But then you look at First Majestic stock, and then you actually analyze what's going on with that stock, and you're like, this is actually in a big downward trend. So if you are one, overcomplicating it by using correlation trades. Well, if the dollar goes up or if the dollar goes down, then gold's going to go up. Therefore, the mining sector's going to go up. Therefore, I'm going to go buy gold, Barrick Gold. You are going to do your head in, right? No. Keep it simple, right? Keep it simple, my student. Right? What is that? Use simple analysis like I'm teaching this video right now, and you use it on that chart. So right now, I'm looking at First Majestic, and there is no way this is a false breakout pattern. There's no way. There's no. The trend is actually low, lower high. So First Majestic, even though the silver mining sector is quite strong, First Majestic is actually really, really weak. And it doesn't matter how much Keith, what's his name? I don't know. The owner, the CEO comes out and says what he says on YouTube and so on and so forth. The most important thing to this here is what this market is actually doing. And by looking at this level here and bring up the weekly charts, Newmont, not Newmont, This one here, if it breaks, we could actually end up back down to around about $2 from here. So when we're looking at these charts and you're looking at what's going on here, low, lower high, and now guess what? We're still in this very strong downward trend. So we could be now coming a bit of a pullback before we get another lower high. And if we break that, we could be making our way down to this $2.50 level here. So just don't go through that process. Let's look at some of the. I think the one stock I'm watching for is, or was, should I say, looking at Barrick Gold. Barrick Gold's probably one of those big ones. We had this low, high, low, high, low, and we have this process through here as well too. So that's that level all through there, and that was, if I bring up my charts, that was also that level all through there as well. So probably somewhere through. We definitely have a lot of resistance up through there. So if we do get a bit of a breakout, we could see a bit of a move to the upside here, but it's not looking as strong. It's like, I think out of all the actual mining stocks, like and then you have Newmont as well too. So Newmont's actually in a really strong upward trend, right? So this is where, like, look at this here, really, really, really nice up. You have this sideways period and then back up again. This is where traders, like for me personally, like I always like to wait for a bit of a sideways period for me, right? Because you can look at this here. It's just, it's such a beautiful pattern. When you get them up and we get that sideways, we get ready to go again. Up, look at all that sideways, and then we had a move, sideways again. We may even get ready for another move again. Right, so just depends on what actually happens from there. We actually definitely are in a very strong upward trend. We're developing this sideways pattern. Let's go to the weekly chart here. So the weekly chart, I'm just looking at levels that where it may find, we may even have a bit of a move up towards that level up through there. That's that major resistance level there. So if I bring up, say, a short-term chart with, say, one moving average. Okay, cool. Yep. So if we get a bit of a strong up bar from here with a good increase in volume, then that could start to see possibly even another short-term move. Which means maybe a couple of days to a week, probably a move back up towards that level up there out of NEM. So there we go, traders. Hope that helped you out. If you do need some help with your trading, guys, and you actually really are serious about becoming a good trader, not just dabbling and watching YouTube videos for free, but you actually really want to become a good trader, then you may be a good fit to join me for my coaching program. There's that link in the description there, guys. You can go check that out, fill out the application, and I'll personally call you guys to see if you're a good fit.